What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Planetary Reviews, and I am here to finally review South Park, the newest South Park game. If you're a fan of the first one, you're probably gonna like this one a good amount. If you're a fan of South Park, you're definitely gonna like this game, because if you're not really a fan of South Park, you're not really gonna get much out of this game. So I'm just gonna throw that out there. If you're not a South Park fan, you're probably not gonna enjoy this game all too much. If you are, this game was made for you. So let's talk about the first thing you'll notice right away. Just like in the first one, the graphics are exactly like the TV show. It's the same art style, same everything. It looks just like the show. It's like you're playing an episode, which is awesome. I love that. So if you love the South Park art style, you're gonna love this. It looks great. It performs very well. There were only a couple instances where I was playing during a cutscene and it looked like the frame rate dropped a little bit, but that was about it. It wasn't too much. So overall, the graphics look great if you love South Park, and the performance is really well. Next thing, let's talk about the story to this game. The story is that there's a crime wave going on in South Park. A lot of bad stuff is going on. People are going a little bit crazy, and you end up getting your character from the first game ends up getting involved with Cartman and his friends to create superhero teams to try and figure out this crime wave. But you learn that there's something about you that makes you kind of powerful. And as the game progresses, you learn that you have a superpower. You learn that you have magical superpowered farts. And from there on in, it's your job to help them solve the crime spree with the power of your farts. Now, let's talk about the gameplay. The first thing you're going to notice is that obviously it is turn-based, but they evolved it from the first one. The first one was traditional turn-based gameplay where you're standing there on one side, enemies over here, you fight, you take turns, classic turn-based style. This game, however, evolved it a little bit more and made it so that you have a playing field, squares will appear on the bottom, kind of similar like Final Fantasy Tactics, and squares will appear on the bottom. You could move a certain amount depending on the type of class you're playing. Your attacks have a certain range, so you have to figure out where on the map you're going to attack from and make strategies with other members of your team. So that is really cool. If you're a big fan of turn-based combat, you're gonna like this. And for a person who's not a big fan of turn-based combat, don't be scared to play this game if you're a big South Park fan, because the game does a good job at showing you the ropes, showing you how to play a game like this. Because I'm not really the best at turn-based games. I really don't enjoy them all too much. So when I went into this game and seeing how they made it more evolved and more intuitive of a combat system, I was a little nervous. But as you keep playing the game, it slowly shows you how to keep doing this and how to be able to keep up. And with the introduction of all these different character classes that you could do a speedster class, you could do an elementalist class, you can do a super strong class, you could do a plant controlling class. I'm not going to ruin all of them, but depending on what class you choose from, you have various different types of moves. You have short range moves, you have long range moves, you have wide moves, you have area of effect moves. You have all kinds of crazy ways of fighting in this game that the game really does want you to try and experiment. Don't just stick with one class. If you end up doing that because it's the way you like it, so be it. But don't be afraid to mix and match with different types of classes, because this game also allows you to have up to 3 different classes where you can sit there and be combine elementalist with a brutalist, who's more like a tanky character that wants to be in your face. Elementalist is like you're the avatar, you have the control of the elements. And then you can combine that with the speedster class, and there you go, and you can have a really fun time using different types of moves. I don't remember if you can have a 4th class, sorry, but I'm pretty sure 3 is the main number I remember. And that is really awesome. And also the customization in this game is really cool. Like I said, you could choose different classes, but on top of that, you could sit there and find all kinds of cool different hero costumes, which is really great. I loved customizing my hero. I loved sitting there and just giving him different outfits and stuff like that. And it was really fun. And also, as you explore South Park, you're going to be able to use your different abilities to find puzzles, to find hidden items, which is really cool. I really had fun finding out ways to be able to get all these hidden chests and everything like that. That was really awesome. And the next thing I want to say, like in the first game, you have all of South Park to traverse, and it's really simple to navigate through. The map is good. It's awesome to find those little fast travel points, there's a lot of content to be had in this game. If you just go through the story, you could probably beat this game in a couple sittings. But if you play this game like I do, where you go through all the side quests, you take your time, you find all the little hidden items as much as you could anyway, you will find that this game is chock full of content. It will take you a while to beat everything in this game. There are tons of side missions that are very funny, depending if you like the way South Park does their writing. But there's a lot of fun little side quests that will give you cool rewards. There's a lot of reason to keep exploring consistently. You'll be able to use different hero abilities to help you out in solving these things. And it's just a fun package overall. Now, where this game does fall a little bit short is the writing in this one. Where in the first one, I felt like the writing was really well done and I enjoyed it. This one, while good, it felt like it was relying too much on the fart jokes. It was relying too much on the whole, yeah, your ass is a super powerful weapon, haha. And it just kind of started getting bland with that. Don't get me wrong, there were still good moments. I was like, oh man, this is good. This is really good writing. I like this. I'm a huge fan of South Park, so I enjoyed a lot of it. But I admit, this time around, having so much reliance on your ass and your farts and all that stuff, it really did just start to get a little dry after a while. So that's my gripe with the story and the writing of it. As for challenge and everything like that, this game will challenge you during certain boss battles. The overall combat that you're going to be having when you're walking around the street fighting minions and stuff like that, or lower end guys, those are just fun. You're going to have a great time fighting them. You really enjoy just getting into these random battles because there's different types of scenarios. You're going to be fighting different types of enemies. Enemies that cause you bleed. Enemies that have high defense. Enemies that are strictly just going to mob you with enemies coming after you. It was really fun and I really enjoyed the gameplay. The boss battles will really test your strategy and tactics type of stuff when you're going up against them, because you'll have some bosses that they have a really wide range of attacks, so you have to make sure when you're doing damage to these guys, you keep in mind when they're going to do those range attacks to get the hell out of dodge and make sure your team is okay. And that's another thing. Using the abilities with your abilities combined with the abilities of your squad that you had during the fight is really fun, because there's so many different types of characters. You have speedster characters, you have a mosquito type character, you have all kinds of different superheroes in your crew that mixing and matching the squads always makes every battle feel unique and different. So you're always going to be having a great time during battle. There was only one boss battle that I sat there and I personally didn't like it. It kind of just got really tedious to me. It was a boss battle where you had to get the minions that you were fighting to get to a certain part on the map to fall down somewhere. I don't want to give too much away. That's why the gameplay you're going to be seeing in this review is very early. But that was the only time I felt like the boss battles were really tedious, when I had to do something like that to make all these enemies that were coming into the map go to this side and fall somewhere. I kind of got annoyed. I was like, this isn't really that fun anymore. But overall, South Park is a great game. If you're a fan of South Park, if you're not a fan of South Park, you're not really going to have a good time. If you don't like the writing, you're not going to have a lot of fun. Is it as good as the original? Gameplay wise, yes. I think that the gameplay is better and it's more intuitive and it's evolved greatly. But where I feel like this game falls is really the story. While it did have cool moments and I did enjoy the writing, this game's story wasn't as compelling and wasn't as cool because they really got patted down with like the fart jokes and the constant reminder of that. They just really relied on that to be super funny, and it just got a little dull. But it was cool to also see a little bit more of where your character is from, who he or she is, what's their background, and finding out the secret behind that. That was awesome, and seeing all the cast of South Park in there having a great time and voice acting was amazing, and it was just fun being around those characters and inside this world, which is always great for me. But because the story wasn't as compelling for me personally, I'd have to say that at the end of the day, South Park, The Fractured Butthole, is a good game, and I do enjoy it, but it just wasn't as good as the original. But I'll still give this game a very solid B+, guys. Guys, let me know what you guys thought of the new South Park game. Did you guys enjoy it more? Did you guys enjoy it less? How do you feel about it? Did you feel that it was as funny? Do you feel like me, where it was kind of not as funny and you didn't really feel like the writing was as good as it was in the original? Maybe you do, maybe you don't, but that's my review for this game. I had a lot of fun playing it, and I also got a Switch. Just wanted to show off that a little bit. Really having fun with that little system. I don't know if I'm going to do like a late review of Zelda. Who knows? But that's for the future. My next movie review, guys, is going to be Suburbicon with Matt Damon. So I'm very excited to go see that movie because it looks very interesting. So look forward to that review. But yeah, and then my next game review, Assassin's Creed Origins. Can't wait to get it this week. Very excited. Gonna have a lot of fun playing that game. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you guys thought of this game because I'm really curious to see what you South Park fans thought of this one compared to the first one. But as always, have a great day, guys, and thank you so much for watching.